The Trump administration is refusing to allow a woman, an Alabama woman, who left the U.S. to join ISIS back into the United States. She had 3 husbands, and now she has 1 kid. Hoda Mutana traveled to Syria and married an ISIS fighter 4 years ago. Now she says she wants to come home. But Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says she's not a U.S. citizen, has no legal basis to return. Her family, of course, pushing back on this. Former Assistant Secretary of State to Colin Powell and attorney Robert Charles joins us now. Robert, for those who leave, whether the citizens or not, they can't come back, can they?
No, I mean, I think what Mike Pompeo is exactly right here. What you're witnessing is the operational definition of the renunciation or the renouncing of their citizenship. And in our, we have a federal statutes. We have the Constitution itself, which defines treason very clearly. In fact, even Alabama has laws that define treason, and she fits directly into that. So the bottom line is that what she did was what they call levying war against the state, or joining a foreign force to fight the United States. And so she's renounced her citizenship claim. The other thing I'll just note is that your last 2 stories, this story and the preceding one, are in some ways related. And they're related because it is very important that we assimilate immigrants into this country. And what happened is she was kind of part of an enclave that was radicalizing people, was sort of untouched by those around her, and eventually ended up over there. Got caught. You can't say, oops, I got caught, and then come back.
Right.
But the reality is we need to assimilate our immigrants, which is why the president is right in slowing down the flow of immigrants so that they can be taught American history, language, culture, and that civic duties attached to civil rights.
Yeah, I got a huge problem with the lack of history in our schools to begin with,
yeah.
And the way we're redoing the textbooks. But people would push back and say, hey, wait a second, didn't New York City have Little Italy, and they have, Brazil, mini Brazil is just across the street here? What's the difference between the way we used to do it and we do it now?
Excellent question. And the bottom line here is that it is important for people to have their cultural identity associated. If you have a long family history in one way or another, I mean, my family got here in the 1640s, but the reality is if you have an Italian, Irish, or Arab history, and the cultural piece of it is fine. You also have to subscribe to the American Bill of Rights. You have to understand the obligations of a citizen. You have to speak the language. You have to understand the history of America.
Right.
And we've always done that. Believe it or not, whether you were, up until recently, we've been very careful as a community, as a nation, to reach out and to help assimilate people. So that's an important obligation that we all have, to try to bring people into the fold.
And you link stories, I'll link one. It's really about the illegal immigration story. Are people coming here legally the right way? We've never been anti-immigrant. We never will be.
That's right.
But are you coming here the right way, and do you want to be an American? We
right.
have to have a process.
Bingo.
All right, that's good comeback. And they would tell me to rap, as if they were trying to tell you to rap too.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Robert Charles, thank you so much. Very disciplined man. All right.